Hello and welcome to another video, and today we're going to start building the BigBeigeBox. And I was going to start looking at some motherboards. I have 3 to pick from, but I decided instead, just to start it off, we're going to cable manage the front buttons and LEDs and things. Now, we have, I don't know if this is in autofocus, but we have 3 LEDs and 3 buttons, and inside of it, we have a speaker and a fan that we have to route somewhere. And this case actually has some interesting cable management. I don't know if it's cable management, but that's what we're going to be using it for. So, to take it apart, we slide the top piece off. And we're actually going to go put that somewhere else. And then we can slide this side piece off with the handle. Give me a second, I gotta read the instructions. It's actually a really nice case, all metal. And if we read this, open to hold this handle and pull it up for opening the side panel. Wonderful, fluent English. Now, we're also gonna remove this back panel and stack it on top of the other one back here. Now, we have, if I take this, hold it like that, we have quite a bit. It looks like a lot of cables, but it's only only 8 cables. So, inside of this little cage right here, which I will remove to demonstrate. Why is this so difficult to remove? Is the fan and the speaker that I was talking about. Now, those cables get routed down. Anyways, but to do cable management, we're actually going to remove the fan for right now because that's getting in our way already. And to do the cable management, of course, we're going to need to remove the front panel. Now, there's one still intact clip. Now, I have all the things taped in because I've actually built this case before, but we're going to rebuild it because the hard drive died, and so that sucks. As you can see, we have all our cables coming out through here, and we need to route them somewhere. Now, if we look at this back panel, this is where the back panel goes. We're going to lean that against it. As you can see, there's actually quite a bit of depth between where the side panel slides on and where the actual things go. And we're going to use that for cable management. Now, if we get an extreme angle on it, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. But, do I have my phone? I think I do. I'm going to shine a light on it so it's easier to see. Let's see. Yes, there are 2 lumps. There's one down here. Well, actually, there's 3, aren't there? There's one down here, one here, and one here. Now, those aren't useful on their own because they just aren't. Except for this one right here. That one actually, if we go back to where the front panel is, gotta turn the flashlight off. We go back to the front panel. It lines up with, you see, that hole right there. So, I believe these cables will fit through that hole. So we're actually going to pull these all back through. Okay, there we go. And slide them all through. Now, I want to be very careful because these are, of course, held in with tape. Because they had clips, but this is really brittle plastic, so it all broke. Now, I'm actually going to lower this. we need to take this and this. My camera's right up against the floor almost. Yes. And this one. We're going to just take the LEDs first and stick them all through here now. Oh wait, they don't fit. There we go. We're going to have to go one at a time because there they are. And we need this one and this one. Now this is only 5 things. The other 3 things are probably not going to be cable managed, but these ones are. Now, it looks like a mess. We're going to lift the camera back up now. It looks like a mess, as you can see, and it is a mess. But I think this front panel will always be a mess because it's not very good. Anyways, we're just going to slide this around so we can see. You're not going to be able to see in there, but if I reach in there, oh yeah, those cables are definitely in there. And I can, hopefully, theoretically, have this power switch in the way. Pull them all through. There we go. They're all pulled through most of the way. And now we look like we're back to step 1. Wait, let me get that one. There we go. Come on, why don't we fit usually? Yeah, this front panel is a pain to get on. Is that where a clip goes? I gotta actually. Cable manage might be cut a little bit short because that's actually where a clip goes. And that's why it's there. Not because of cable management. I just dropped it. Well, let's pull those all back through. One at a time now. And now we're back at square 1. Except now, I think, yeah, we'll put them back through the original hole they went through, which is also going to be much easier. Because I'm an idiot and didn't check. I did some testing with cable management off camera, because my camera was dead and needed to charge its battery. But I never tested the front panel thing. I left that off for on camera, and this is why. So catch me being an idiot. Alright, so we're actually going to stick this down and around there. Now, it's going to be a little bit, Let's do the red cable LED. The hard drive LED. Let me see if I can. We're gonna actually think that I'm gonna stand up. Ooh. And spin the case around. Check that's in focus still. I think we're gonna leave it like this. If I find power LED, no, not power, hard drive, and I need to somehow route it through to there. This is almost definitely not what this was intended for, but to get it through. Is that? I've got to look at it. Yeah, I did get it through, actually. I am. Now, if I get it through, I'm just going to pull that through here. But that's where the side panel slides on, so there we go. Now if I reach in there and find where it's at, I can attempt to route it all through there. Is this is the power switch cable. I routed the wrong one through. Well, that's why I can't find it. It's red and white, not red and black. Should have found that out before I routed it through. Now we're gonna see what it's like to unroute it through. Yeah, this is definitely not what this is intended for. It's really difficult. Though, you know what? If I can find that again. We're gonna keep it routed through here for right now. It's gonna become a really cramped place in a second, so. Found a better routing hole. Never mind. We're not gonna keep it routed there. I've gotta unroute it from there. That doesn't sound like an easy task. But hopefully one we can do. Well, we're going to document all the failures too. So if I find all those cables again, these ones. If I grab all of these, I'm going to route them through this side thing that's actually meant for screwing screws in. Now we're gonna hide these two cables because they're annoying and in the way. And we're gonna start routing those through. So let me make sure this is here in frame. Okay, yeah, that's in frame. I'm gonna actually stick. Okay. No, I got the power switch in there. No, I don't want the power switch yet. You know what? We'll go with the power switch. I'm going to stick my finger through there and sort of find the cables. And as you can see, and let me just count them to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So these are all the front panel ones, including the power one. So we'll just pull it all through. Let's get the yellow one all the way through. And the red one. And we're going to take all this through. And finally, we get to bolt this back on, this front panel piece. Let's go back on. Finally. So now we have all our cables, and those are going to sort of be routed down and through this little hole. Now, we actually cannot go, I don't want to go too close to the bottom here because there are little clip things that hold in the side panel. But anyways, we're going to route the speaker cable, which really hope we didn't tear the speaker cable. Let me make sure this is in frame. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly do this. Get it through there. Okay, that's not far enough. There we go. So it goes right behind the... You know what, this one is... It's not going to fit. It's not long enough to go up and around. Anyways, so I've removed the I/O shield. We're going to test the motherboard fitment real quick. So I've removed the I/O shield because it has, I get it out here, little clips that sort of are used to make contact with the I/O ports on the back to ground them properly, but we're not actually going to plug it in, and this isn't actually going to be the final motherboard unless I decide in that later episode I'm going to do. Let me check how much time I have left. 3 minutes. I'm going to quickly just slice up the recording, and I'm going to just sort of toss that in there and grab one of the motherboard screws. Top left will do. Set my screwdriver into screw in mode. And we'll just set it down carefully. I don't think I crushed. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but the I/O shield normally goes right here, but it would make it too difficult to, because I'd have to push it in. It's probably screw in most, if not all, of the screws. It doesn't matter. We're just going to screw in one screw so that we can hold this in place when I put it back vertical. There you go. One screw's in. And that's enough screw. So we are going to be routing these cables back into the case through this hole, which you might say that's a lot of work we just went through, just to save from going from about right from there to instead go from here to here with cables, but I don't care. It was fun. So, which one's this one? The new one. Reset. Switch might not make it. Oh no, that's got plenty of room to make it. Oh, does it? Huh. Zoom back out a little bit. I wish I had something I could use to just hold this at an angle while I'm poking around. I've got to go back around the case. Drop the clip over here. And reset switch doesn't have a lot of slack, but we're going to put it, basically push it all the way through. And there we go, snap that back on. Walk all the way back around. Tilt the case so that the camera can see it better. And not be able to pull that reset switch through. There's a lot of cables in the way, that's why. If I grab it... See, this is very wasteful with cable length. Oh no, that will be probably perfect. Now I'm actually going to plug these into the board. It doesn't matter where I plug them in because this isn't the final one. Now if I spin this around, you'll see what I mean. It barely fits. But hopefully the side panel will fit on with that. The rest of these are actually much longer, so I'm not at all worried. I'm actually going to make sure it reaches the actual reset switch one. Oh, the one I plugged it into was the reset switch one. That's actually really convenient. So now we're going to just sort of poke these all through. I'm going to put them all through there. Now, I don't know what these holes were made for, but they are going to work for cable management. Now, I'm actually planning on building a computer that will actually be editing the videos from now on. At some point, and I'm probably going to do that in a video as well. Get that out of the way. I'm not actually plugging these into the actual ones they belong in because that doesn't matter because we have plenty of extra cable length. Come on, plug it there. Yep. I'm actually going to flip this one around just to make it look a little bit nicer. And power switch. Did I put that in only halfway? I did think I did only put that in halfway. Yeah, I did put that in halfway. I plugged in one of the pins, not both of them. I really do hope this is in frame. Let me check. Yeah, it definitely is. I'll probably zoom in post. And I'm going to pull on all of these just to pull out any of the extra cable that's just there. I'm actually going to, oop. There isn't like a plug anywhere else I could have used. No, not really. Now for the moment of truth. For all the time I was doing cable management, I didn't at all try to put on a side panel. But I wanted to save that for YouTube. Now, is there a screw hole or anything near this that I could tie these to? Not really. Okay. I'm gonna go grab some tape really, really fast. And scissors to cut the tape. Where are my scissors at? I don't know where my scissors at. Are they on this thing? I bet they're out of the room. Let me go. Actually, this much tape will probably be fine. I just started pulling on tape and I did the dumb thing where it always seems to just... I did the dumb thing. I mean, it did the dumb thing where it just tears half the spool of tape off. Except this time it was just a very small amount. Now I could probably drill a hole, but I want to leave this case unmodified just to be a challenge. Now one of these side panels that actually ran over, and that is the one that's actually going on to the side, the other side, the one that you'll take off more often probably. It's the moment of truth time. Fits on nice, and it looks wonderful. There are 4 feet. There are, right? Yeah. Well, I was not expecting that, and I could probably even poke those through a little bit extra. Yeah, that's wonderful. Oh wow, this is so much better looking than I thought it would be. I can plug in the speaker cable. And let me check the time recording. Wow, this is like a 30-minute video and I'm just doing cable management. Well, it's also a much older case, so cable management is very difficult. Let me just grab the case. I hope this is in frame. I will check. It is. And sort of push it in a little bit. And, well, I guess we're going this way now. Sort of push it in. Push that cable through the little thing. See, older PC cases, cable management wasn't exactly on their mind. You can kind of understand. Like, you aren't supposed to have like a tempered glass side panel to see all your cable. So it didn't really matter because you never really went inside your computer very often. Wow, this is actually not fitting on right. I can see why I couldn't get this to fit on earlier. Huh. Huh. Those clips on the bottom don't seem to work right. I'm gonna try and just a little bit there. Okay. Now if I push these both in, I can slide it in and there we go, nice and snug. And the side panel fell off. Well, the entire weight of the computer sitting on the side panel. Let me just slide this back on. See how well cable management's working. See if it can survive 2 side panel slide-ons. And yeah, that speaker cable isn't too in the way. This cable can have a little bit, can be a little bit better. Don't know why I can't speak all of a sudden. But yeah, that looks a lot nicer. Even though we still have all the same cables. It looks a lot cleaner than having a bunch of extra cables stuck up in there. So, get a before picture up on screen, before, and this is after. So it does look a little bit nicer. Now, we're going to unplug everything, because this isn't the motherboard we're going to be using. Oh my, I don't know why it's so difficult to just unplug stuff. Come on. And if you like this video, be sure to leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. And if you have anything to say, leave a comment. And if you want to see whenever I pick out the motherboard for this, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll get notified whenever I upload that video. It might be in December, it might be in January, who knows. But before we leave, we're gonna, of course, slide the side panel off again. Okie dokie. It's coming off again. But I think we're going to pick out a motherboard and put that in here. Oop. Then we're going to plug in all the drives, and that's going to be another episode. Because knowing me, it's going to take forever to just screw in a few drives. You know what? We'll probably do picking a motherboard and putting in drives. And then we're going to have... Oh, wait, yeah, unplug this. And then we're going to have a good old sequel to cable management. Well, actually, before we leave, we gotta leave with some words of wisdom. Open. To hold this handle and pull it up for opening the side panel. That wasn't in frame. We're gonna leave it. Bye.